So in the last class we have discussed about we discussed about something called operators, variables, and data types. Today we are going to discuss about decision making statements, loopings. Okay, that's it. Okay, tomorrow we are going to see functions as well. Okay, so today we are going to see decision making statements in JavaScript. Let's make a statements. Decision statements I'm going to write like this. I just created a HTML page. Okay, so type HTML. Yes, I just want to create one more file here. Just create a JS file. .js. Okay. So in this decision making statements, we have something like decision making statements. We have something like one if statement. Okay. Second one if else. If else statement. Third one if else if statement. Fourth one nested if statements. Nested if else. Okay, and finally we are going to see a switch statement. Okay, decision making statement. So there are 6 kind of decision making statements that can form inside JavaScript. Probably you know about all this stuff. Okay, so I'll take an example and then start discussion about this decision making statement with that example. So my intention is I just want to find out, okay, uh, find out biggest number out of two. So I just want to find out which one will be the biggest number out of two values. Okay. For this case, I just make use of these kind of decision making statements. So, for example, I'm going to take a variable. I can say a is equal to 9, where b is equal to 99. I just have taken two values. If of a greater than b, okay, the if statement will be like this. Okay, so in this you write the if keyword, start the braces, and provide the condition inside the braces like this. Okay, then if you want to execute any kind of statements based on the condition, okay, then you need to place those statements inside this if statement by placing braces like this. Okay, so for example, what I'll do in this case, I'm going to write something like document.write. Okay, I can say a is big. Okay, a is big. If a greater than b, then I can say a is big. Now let us observe this one inside the browser. Unfortunately, I didn't got the output. Now press F12. look after the problem. So I didn't got any error here. So that means why I'm not getting any output here? The reason is A is smaller than 99. So that means the control won't come inside of this if condition. Okay, so it will go after the if condition. So there is no statement after the if statement. So I'm going to use something like because of that I find an empty document on my screen. Okay, so in here I want to write B is big. Let's take like this. Now refresh the page. That's fantastic. I got a B is big value. That means, see, in this case, if A is greater than B, then it is going to be printed. Okay. So in this case, A fails, right? A is not greater than B. So that is why it is returning this particular statement. Let us debug this simple code. Okay. In order to debug this, you need to go for the sources. Okay. And you have decision making HTML is there, but of course you have the decision making JavaScript is also there. Okay, just open this file, JavaScript file, come down and put some breakpoints here. Just on mouse click, you can place some breakpoints. So this is the way you are going to test your code inside your browser. Okay, I just place some breakpoints so that I want to see how JavaScript control is going to be navigated and how the results is going to be produced. Okay, so whether I'm getting a valid results or not. So just refresh the page again so that it will provide something like paused in debugger. Your application got paused in debugger. And when I press this one, play button, you can see a blue line is going to be navigated throughout this program, indicating that this is the next instruction to be executed. So I have taken A value and B value. Okay. And by the way, let me refresh it again. First of all, let me complete this. And I'm going to refresh it again. In this case, you can watch the values of A and B by using a watch window inside the debugger. Now you add a watch expression here, A and B. See, upon definition, that means initially the value of A and B will be undefined data type or undefined. The value is undefined. That means nothing but garbage. It's okay. So when I execute this first statement, 9 will be placed into that. When I execute the second statement, 99 is placed into the B. Now it's going to evaluate the condition here. So in this, is A greater than B? Obviously not. Here 9 is not greater than 99. Now you can observe the control of the JavaScript. It will jump from this location to this location. It won't execute this line. So it's directly jumps to this location. Okay. Don't worry about these kind of things. We will be seeing all these things in later classes. Okay. So you find something like this. That is why you're getting B is big. That is fine. Now let us make some changes in the code. I'm going to take 99 in the A, 9 in B. Okay, so A is big and B is small. So obviously I will get this one. Let us execute in the debugger. Execute this one. That's fine. See, the control is trying to check the condition. If condition got satisfied, that means if this is true, then it will come to this statement, right? Yeah, it's true. That is why it came. Now what the output you will find here? Fantastic. A is big. Okay, let me complete the program. Oops. Unfortunately, B is big is also printed. The reason is you just placed this statement outside of the if statement. That means this won't be executed based on the condition. Only this is going to be executed based on the condition. So if condition is satisfied or not satisfied, this statement is going to be printed. Okay, that is why you are getting two things. Still, our logic is creating an ambiguity to the user. A is big and B is big. User entered two values, assume. You want to find out the biggest value, but still computer is saying this, creating an ambiguity like A is big and B is big. Okay, so it's completely, it's not a good, right? So for this, what I'm going to do, and by the way, I can use a br statement now. Okay, in order to select one choice out of two, then you have to go for if else statements. Okay, if is used to check if there are any kind of statements to be tested based on the, to be executed based on the condition, then you have to go for if statements. Okay, if you have two choices, out of these two choices in the sense, if you have some set of code which to be executed based on the condition is satisfied, and if you want to execute some other set of code based on condition got failed, in such cases we go for the if else statements. So if condition is satisfied, this code is going to be executed, this line will be executed. If condition is not satisfied, then whatever the thing we place inside the else block, that will be executed. So for this purpose, I'm going to take this one. I just place this one. Now after this, I want to place something. This is the end of the program. Just for indication purpose, I want to place something like this. So this document, sorry, this line will be executed if condition is satisfied or not satisfied. In both cases, it will show the output. Okay, now refresh the page again. The code got modified here, and place some, I just removed the condition here and place some breakpoints. Now just observe the things. So condition is satisfied, that is why it came inside the a greater than b. That's fine. So I got a is big, and the control jumps to the last line of the program. This is another program. You're not getting any ambiguity now. Okay, only one value is printing. A is big, not B is big. Okay, so in this way you can go for your application. Or you can choose, or you can execute two different sets of code based on the condition, whether it to be satisfied or not satisfied. I'll refresh the page again. See, one more time. I got B is big, right? That is if else statement. Got it? The next one is, I want to find out something like, find out the biggest number out of three. See, here you have three choices. Out of these three choices, you have to pick one. Okay, that means I'm going to take three values. Okay, sorry, not this case. I'm sorry about this. Find out the relation between. I'm not talking about the biggest number out of two. Okay, find out the relation between two numbers. So how many relations that you can find between two numbers? The relation will be something like greater. Okay, I can write greater, less, less than, greater than, less than, and finally equal to. So for such kind of problems, if else is not sufficient to use. Why? Because I have three options here. Sorry, I have three choices, I can say. Okay, three conditions probably I can say. So you can write this kind of problem. You can solve this kind of problems by using if else if statements. Okay, just a second. Okay, so find out the relation between two numbers. Now I'm going to write in such a fashion like if I can write something like a greater than b. Just I'm talking about these two values. Okay, document. Now what I'm saying is, what happens if I go for this value 9 and 9? For the time being, I just want to remove this one. I just have taken 9 and 9, both are equal, right? So if you go to this, the previous example, the previous code, see, you are getting b is big, right? But unfortunately, you have provided two equal values in the both variables. So it should produce equal to relation. But unfortunately, it's not able to do that by using if else statement. So for this, what I'm going to do, I can make use of if else if statement. So if a greater than b, then I can say document dot write of a is big, else if I can write. That means I need to check for the condition. If a greater than a is not greater than b, okay, I need to check for other two conditions. For this case, I can go for uh, if a is not greater than b, I'll go for something like a equal to b. I can take triple equal to. Why? Because it's strict equal. It will check both the values to be same in case of value as well as data type. Okay, so document dot write via I can take via statement, and I can say a equal to b. That's fine. Okay. Finally, I can write else. See, you are checking one more condition inside this else block. Okay. So you are validating, or you are going to find out one more relationship between A and B that is equal to condition. Finally, if these two conditions got failed, I can go for an else block. That means if these two got failed, then obviously it will go for the third one, right? So blindly it will go for it. Otherwise, if you have multiple conditions, then you can write something like A not equal to B, something like that. If you want to test like this, you can write any number of if else if statements. But in this case, uh, I just need three if else statements only. Okay, two else block. Document dot write. Inside this, I can write something like br a is less than b. Right? Come back here, refresh the page. Let me execute this one. First of all, for this program, I'll get something like this. And finally, I got something is equal to b. That's fine. Unfortunately, okay. Let me add one more document dot write br statement, br statement, br statement. Okay, refresh the page and execute this one. So for the first if else condition, I got a b is big. So this code is not good for this kind of result. For the latter case, I got a equal to b. That means this particular code is producing a equal to b. That means I provided two values. Now it's satisfying, it producing a valid result. Okay, so we are getting a desired result as we required. Okay, so that is about if else if statements. And you know, for the nested if and nested if else means, okay, so nested if means nested if and nested if else means you are able to write an if block inside an if condition, or you can write if else block inside a if or if else block. Okay, that means writing some condition of inside the if statements, a greater than b, a equal to b, so that I can write something like this. Okay, something like this. You're going to make if statements to be nested and nested. So don't make more number of nesting statements. Why? Because it will create a lot of confusion when you go for nesting of if blocks like this. So if of something like a not equal to b, something like that. See, if you go like this, at some point you will find some what do you call ambiguity while when your code get what do you call when you're going to write a lot of complex code like this. Okay, so don't try to do like that. Some condition, something like that. Some condition. See, it of course this is okay. So try to maintain up to four levels of four hierarchy levels of if statements. More than that, don't try to make it. Okay, or try to figure out another logic. If not possible, then we need to go for this one only. Okay, but anyway, and try to provide the indentation for every internal code that you are going to place inside the brackets. So this is the way of writing the code. Don't try to write the code like this. This will make you a lot of confusion while debugging. See, all are in same line, so it will make me to make a lot of confusion. Okay, see, I don't know which kind of or which particular closing bracket is suits for the for particular if else block. Okay, if block. So try to make some indentation. Indentation is nothing but providing some gap or space, something like this. Okay. So that is about the nested if else. You just go for it. Okay. I'm not going to take anything. The last but not least is switch statement. Okay. Switch statement is used to select one choice out of many choices. Okay. So one out of many choices. Let's figure it out. So a switch statement can be written like this, and it's better to go for another set of code. I go for something like switch.html, switch.js. Okay, we close this one. Here this. Now type HTML. Switch.js. Select many choices. One choice out of many choices. A switch case can be written like this. Before that, what I'm going to do, I want to display some menu. The menu going to be like this. Document dot write of. I have some coffee vending machine. Let's make this one. So the first option is coffee. I have a menu in the okay. I have coffee. Okay, and the menu item. So, so this to be two, and I got tea. Last one is soup, coffee, tea, soup, hot water. You can take hot water, something like that. I have some menu like this. Let me check this and whether I'm getting a proper menu or not. I don't get this properly. So what I can do, I can write some BR statements. See, I got a menu, right? Okay, so let me decorate this one. All right, so I can write some stars. Welcome to Chess Coffee Vending Machine. Okay, so I can place something like this, and I'm going to place this one inside h2 tag. It's to be a line. I can say center. It would be nice. I just made some decoration. Now I found this is my coffee vending machine. I have the menu, coffee, tea, and soup, and hot water. So I'm going to place something like something. I'm going to provide some options. Choose any one option. Out of 4 options, you need to choose one option. Okay. So here I'm going to create one variable called choice. Okay. I'll take the choice value 2. See, the choice is hard coded here. Later on classes, we will see how to get this data, what do you call, from the user. Okay, either by using dialog boxes or either by using text fields that we have seen in the HTML, right? So where choice is equal to 2. That means this is hard coded. The choice value is 2 here. So I'm going to write switch off. A switch statement should be written like this. Inside the switch, you need to place some choice, not the condition. It should be choice. Why? Because condition is going to evaluate 2 values, right? A choice is going to be evaluate one out of, or it's going to pick up one value out of many. Okay, so it shouldn't be a condition. Of course, if you have only 2 choices in case of in the inside switch, then you can make use of the condition. Okay, but it's a good practice to make use of value, a numeric value or any other string value in order to make it as a choice. Okay, and don't use any condition inside the switch case. So you, along with the switch, you have something called cases, internal statements. So I start with case 0. Okay, something like, and I'm going to write document dot write off. I can place something like coffee got dispensed. Small letters. Coffee got dispensed. And this is to be tea. Tea got dispensed. And the fourth one is soup. Hot water. 2 and 3. I got 4 values. Switch of choice, case 0, case 1, case 2. Right? Let us execute this program, and I'm going to take the choice of 0, or I can start with 1, 2. Why? Because we have the menu started with 1 only. So that's why I'm going to take this one, and choice to be a valid number. Let us take fourth one. Let's see what output that you'll get when I refresh the page. Oh, that's not good. Tin, 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 tin. I got something. Choose any option. Of course, I haven't displayed an option, but I got hot water. Okay, and this is to be placed after this. And, just for the case of displaying the value. So the option is got selected, hot water. That's fine. I got correct output. Hot water got dispensed. That is what I selected. Now what happens if I select A second one, tea. I want to take the tea. So option 2. See, unfortunately, my machine is dispensing tea, soup, and hot water. Three things. Okay, got it. Okay, this is not good. Why? Because I'll my machine makes me it may makes a lot of loss to my what is it called? It will bring a lot of loss to my company. Why? Because my machine is dispensing different or different kinds of values, even the what I haven't choose here. Okay, so this is not good. So what we have to do in order to do this, the problem with the switch case is uh, we need in this case all the cases will be executed sequentially. If case 1 got executed, okay, case 2 will be executed. Why? Because the control JavaScript control will execute sequentially. Okay, so for the last one, if I select this one, this is only executed and there is no other statements to execute after this case 4. That is why I got only this one. So for case 2, if I execute this one, I got the remaining things also. Why? Because it will sequentially executed. If you want to check this out, just press F12. And unfortunately, you didn't find any JavaScript file here, right? Remember this point. Okay. Only you have HTML code only. You don't find any JavaScript code now, right? In such case, you just reload it. Then you will find the JS folder and open it. And you can observe how the switch case is going to execute. Okay. Let's go for this one. See, I have taken choice 2. That's why the control comes to choice 2. And 3 and 4 is also executed. So we need to stop it. So in order to execute a single statement, in order to stop the control, we need to place something called a break keyword for every line of code, for every case inside the switch case. Okay. Last one we don't require, but anyway, I'm going to give. Okay. So for every statement, that means if I select the second choice, then it will be executed. Then it will execute the break statement. Break statement means it will bring out the control of the JavaScript of outside of this particular switch statement. Okay. Now refresh the page again. See, I got only T, not other options. Okay. So what happens if I choose of 1? I want coffee. Here I got coffee got dispensed. It's proper output, right? What happens if I place 5? Some weird people will also, even though they find a menu, okay, sometimes some people behave weirdly. In such cases, they enter some numbers which is not in the menu. Okay, so in such case, I got some empty. So it's not doing anything. This is not what you call. Uh, it doesn't have much access. It's not providing any accessibility. Why? Because if I provide value 5, I'm not getting any output on my window. At least it should show some message whether the entered message value is not proper value or exceeded. Okay, so this is not a good way to write the application. Application to be very interactive with the user. Okay, so it should be interactive. So here the application is not interactive. Why? Because I'm not getting any message after I selected the option. See, uh, when you go for ATM machine, okay, you entered the amount, but ATM machine is not responding, it's not showing anything. So you entered the amount something like uh, entered an amount which is greater than that is there inside the account. Okay, in such cases, if it displayed a blank window, how the user is going to react? At least it should say something like amount got exceeded, or at least it show message like please enter the valid amount, something like that. Okay, similarly here also I want to something to Okay, 1 second, please. Okay, so we need to display some default here. Default, we have something called default case. So for this, I'm going to use write document.write. I can go for something defaultly. I can say please enter a valid choice or option. Okay, I want to get some message like that. So I can go for this one. See, if I choose 5, I'm getting some message like please enter a valid choice. Okay, so that's nice. And what happens if I give a quoted one, a numeric string, a string numeric, I can say. It's a 1. Now let's see what happens. Now it's saying that please enter a valid choice. Okay, so this is not correct. I entered the value 1. Unfortunately, see, even though I entered a numeric value 1, when it transferred through internet, that will be converted it as a character. So once in the server, if I got a character 1, then my what do you call my or if I'm getting some data from the server, might be the data will be in the form of string. Okay, so here in such cases, we need to convert 1 to be as an number, or at least we need to write something like um, it should satisfy a string numeric also. So for this case, what I'm going to do, I can write something like case quoted 1. This is also valid. You can write multiple ways of cases like this. So it can accept a numeric 1 as well as string numeric 1. So you can write all the cases. So character 2, something like this you can write. Okay, now check this out. Coffee got response. Even though I placed a quoted string, I got a proper output only. Okay, so it is allowed in JavaScript a character value as a case and numeric values, and you can write some strings also. I want to make something in a better manner. This is also valid, so you should write case. This is also accepted in JavaScript. See, but this won't be there in other kind of languages like C, something else. Okay. So such a way you can write your switch case. Hope you understand. Okay, and okay. The next one is looping statements. Okay, we have seen a switch case and if else statements, all those things. Those are called decision making statements. The next one is looping statements. Looping.html. Oh, what's the JS folder? And you need to get looping.html. Okay.